about to start. Thank you all for joining so early. Thank you for everyone who's been waiting for us. I hope everyone can hear me and see me. I hope everyone can also hear and see all of the panelists. Tanas, Linda, and Olivia, if you just say hi so everyone can hear you and know that you're here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. So I would go to the main gist. We get started. My name is Abimbola, and I'm the CEO at Adiamboga. Most of you know us as Bear the Community, and our grand vision really is to contribute to discussions, conversations, and data on skincare, especially as it relates to Black people. Soul Food by Bear was put together by a wonderful, wonderful marketing team to help us relax and build a sense of community with the amazing people who make up Better Community, which is all of you. So thank you so much for joining in, and I'm looking forward to an exciting time together. If you do have any questions, please, the chat box is there for you to use. Throw your questions, even if it's a DJ request, I'll try to find it. So I'll just go straight into introducing our panelists because they're why we're here and what they'll be discussing with us today. And then they would in turn introduce themselves. I was going to say that everyone introduce themselves, then throw out a fun fact. So in honor of democracy, I would throw in a fun fact for you guys too. A fun fact about myself. I wrote my fun fact down, I have to find it. Okay. My fun fact is that I've never seen Titanic. Yes, I have never seen Titanic in my entire how many years on earth. I've never had the urge, and I never get the memes and the jokes. So yeah, that's just me. So I will start by introducing Olivia. Olivia is a Derma addict on Instagram, and she's one of our skincare specialists at Bear. I'm pretty sure some of you, if you've joined in on our consultation, would have spoken to Olivia. She'll be walking us through how to merge a healthy diet with skincare. Also, in the new era of nose masks and face shield, how can we protect ourselves? How can we protect our skin? Some of us are starting to break out, and we're not really sure what's going on with our skin. So she's gonna be taking us through that. Linda of Small Ethic Pots is gonna be doing a 15-minute food demo on a recipe for carrot energy bites. And she's gonna be telling us how to create a simple diet that works with our skincare based off of whatever allergies that we have, our skin types. So this is going to be in conversation with Olivia. Tanas of Lost in Lagos is going to be putting us through life, restaurants, lifestyle, getting back to a new normal, and also showing us the safety measures that certain businesses have put in place for us to be able to patronize them. So if you visit a spa or a hair salon or like a nail parlor, you need to know what safety measures you should expect from them and how to stay protected so that your slave is not going to stop in the pandemic, but you're also still very safe. So I would go and say, Olivia, Linda, and Tanas, please introduce yourself to us. Tell us what you do, how the pandemic has affected your lives, and a fun fact about yourself.
Okay. Hi, guys. So I'm Olivia Uswans. I'm a medical student, a skincare blogger, a skincare advisor. I write for Kigo Care on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm a specialist at Bear. So all those who've met me before, hi again. Well, so a fun fact about me, I don't even know if it's that fun, but I think some people would be a little surprised to know that I'm more involved in community service than skincare. So on a regular, skincare isn't my main thing. It's something I do and something I enjoy and something I love and something I'm pursuing as a career because I want to go into surgical and cosmetic dermatology. But on a regular, you'll see me maybe doing something with the UN or Medfield or FLI or any of those things. So if you see me there, don't be too surprised. Okay, so how the pandemic has affected my skin. So the funny part is I've been maintaining a very consistent skincare routine for about 8 years now. But as soon as we left school and came home, I had one of the craziest breakouts I had ever had. So I had to go back and read and think and try to figure things out. And right now, my skin is quite back on track. It's not the best it can be, but it's back on track. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yay.
Thank you.
Linda.
Hi guys. So my name is Linda Swapanga. I am the head chef at Small Pot here in Lagos. I love to cook. Cooking is my dream job. So yeah, I'm glad you guys could have me. So today I'll be talking about a particular ingredient that is good for our skin, and I'll do a demo on how you could prepare something really quick, fun, and easy. I hope I've said this, everybody gets to try it. So pandemic, for me, it's a mixed bowl of emotions because for some months I had to shut my business down. I really had to slow down, and that's not really something I'm used to. And then coming back to work, I came back with a lot of anxiety and the fear of the unknown. But so far, so good. We're still here. It's not been easy, but I'm still thankful. So yeah, everything about my life revolves around food. So I've been struggling to find a fun fact in my head. Um so so I guess I'll just give a food fun fact. One of those weird things I like eating. So if the world were to, God forbid, end today, and you ask me what my last meal would be, it would probably be cornflakes and Milo. I know it's really weird, but yeah. So yeah, that's my fun fact. I could eat cornflakes, cold water. The water has to be really small, so it's really thick. So cornflakes, cold water, and Milo. I know it's not good for our skin, but hey, it's what I like. And then in terms of how I have managed my skin during this pandemic. So I'm one of those people who just up and leaves. As long as I'm clean, I'm fine. But I noticed that because of all the stress and anxiety I had really bad breakouts. I'm still struggling with them. But since I got back to work, they're slightly better. So yeah, it's nice to meet everyone and I'm looking forward to this.
Thank you, Linda. Tanas,
Thank
over to
you.
you.
Hi, hi everyone. My name is Kanaz Bahnam. I am the CEO and founder of Lost in Lagos and Lost in Lagos magazine, and which is soon to change into Lost in a City. So Lost in Lagos is basically a directory guide to Lagos, and will soon be introducing new cities, not just in Nigeria, but also West Africa. So fingers crossed. Yes, I've lived in Nigeria for the past 12 and a half years. And this past, I think, few months have been a roller coaster of good and bad emotions. I think, as I'm sure for a lot of people, but especially I have 3 kids, so handling homeschooling and everyone's emotions has been quite difficult while struggling with work. Our business is mostly based on an advertising model, which means most businesses are not advertising during this period, which has affected us a lot. But at the same time, I have really been able to bond with my kids and my family, and we've just been enjoying our home, which I'm super grateful for. So it's been a roller coaster, good days, bad days, and a little of everything in between. But I'm very excited to be here. Fun fact is that in addition to Lost in Lagos, I also own a company called Teacup Chai Latte. So I have my own chai latte brand. So those of you in Lagos who've ever had a chai latte in a cafe, restaurant, or whatever, it's most likely mine.
Oh, awesome. Fun facts, Tanas. Very
Yeah.
good. Is that your fun fact?
That's my fun fact.
Yeah, we take it. We take it. I mean, not completely a fun fact because it's a business run. But I'll take
Kind
it.
of fun.
I'll take it. So we're just gonna go straight to it. I remember that I didn't say that our panelists are from both Ghana and Nigeria. So even our attendees are a mix of Nigerians and Ghanaians. So whoop whoop. That's a fun fact for everybody. So I'm gonna start with you, Tanas. As the CEO of a well-rounded lifestyle company, Blossom Makers, and you work with a lot of brands, what is it like, or at least trying to get back to normal for yourself as you work with brands, and just for brands generally? What have you seen?
What have I seen with what? Sorry.
What have you seen with brands? How are they getting back to normal? How are they
Okay.
the safety measures to ensure that at least people can still patronize them?
So during this period, I helped start a group, especially for restaurants, cafes, bars, and clubs, social clubs, and which is now turned into an association. And I think there is still no normal for, or getting back to normal for that industry specifically, because for most of them, delivery and takeaway is not their core business, and it has really, really affected them. It has really impacted their business, and they're finding it very, very difficult to stay open or stay even in business. So it has been really sad to see how they are really just trying to keep their heads above water. So, and because the industry has still not opened up yet, they're just very anxious and worried about when this is all. Other industries such as the beauty, the salons, not the spas, but the beauty salons, nail salons, they are starting to open up again. And during the obviously pandemic, they weren't allowed to do any business, so they really also suffered. Whereas the retail businesses still were able to run, at least in terms of delivering goods and products to customers during the pandemic. So they've pretty much moved through Instagram and social media, which has helped them, which has helped maintain them basically during this period, which has also helped them pivot their business. And I think a lot of these businesses have had to pivot and do a lot more online than they would have. And they've come up with a lot of great ways to keep their customers engaged and try to, and then now like there's a much bigger market online that you're competing for. So it is difficult. It's much more intense in terms of trying to stay competitive, but it's amazing how many of these brands are just surviving online and reinventing themselves through social media.
I think that you've actually raised like a very important point with regards there's so much competition going on in the online space right now. But there's still some brands that are opening up, right? And some of us decided to go out to get our nails done. Some of us are going out to open garden restaurants to actually help. So what do you think are safety guidelines that we should look out for on the part of the businesses and even for ourselves?
So I think when it comes to the retail businesses, I think it's just, you have to be very conscious of your own safety steps. So you have to make sure you're wearing your mask or face shield and mask. Always carry a sanitizer. All businesses have to have sanitizers available, and they're supposed to take your temperature. But what I've noticed is that some places, the temperature monitors are not correct. It'll say like 30. You're probably not standing up if that's your temperature. So it's really important that you take your own precautions. And especially when you go out to a supermarket or a shop, you don't know what the other person has touched. So always make sure that you're sanitizing your products when you take them home, just to be safe. Obviously, don't spray sanitizer over food, but the food packaging. When it comes to restaurants, they are not allowed to be open yet. So there are no restaurants that are allowed to be open yet, but they're all going through the process of getting certified with, in Lagos with the Lagos Safety Commission. So they are going to get visited by Lagos State to make sure that they're following all the regulations. They have the distance, social distancing, the tables are distant. So a lot of the businesses, restaurant businesses, have had to actually reduce their capacity to about 50%. So that when the government gives the go-ahead for them to open, they are then allowed to open. I know in Ghana, everything is open, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure you're experiencing something completely different in Ghana, and I don't know even if that's affected your rates of people getting COVID, if that's increased the numbers. But for Lagos, the numbers are pretty high still, and they're just not letting them open at the moment. We're hoping by mid-August, towards end of August, there'll be some positive change in that.
In Accra, I guess, I mean, in Ghana, things are pretty much opened up, so it's up to everyone to stay safe. I'm gonna come back to you. So I want to go to Olivia now. Olivia, so we're wearing masks. We're staying indoors mostly. Our diet has taken a hit for most people. What do you think we should put in mind about our skin type? And what should we try to include in our diets, bearing in mind our allergies? But also, when we do go out, masks are mandatory, and for some of us, we're starting to break out for the masks that we're putting on. So, Olivia, what do you think, in your opinion, that we should be looking out for with our mask and even with our diet, and just basically taking care of our skin?
Okay, so during this period, most likely there are about 4 major things that would be affecting your skin. So with that, you would have stress. For those who have to work at home, taking care of kids alone is a whole job. And even just managing family life, it's really stressful. And with that, it means cortisol levels go up. That helps increase inflammation. And inflammation basically affects your skin when it comes to almost every single skin condition. Acne is an inflammatory condition, eczema, psoriasis. So for management of stress, it's more about, let's say, meditation, finding a quiet place, a peaceful place in your life where you can just love yourself while you are trying to balance every other thing that's going on. So then the second thing that I will talk about is natural light. For those who aren't necessarily going out, let's say maybe students, kids, maybe for those whose jobs have closed down and they have to be at home majority of the time, most likely you aren't getting a lot of natural sunlight. And we know every skincare specialist, dermatologist will tell you, oh, don't stay in the sun too long, UVB, UVA, UVC, all of that. But another thing we usually don't talk about is how natural red and blue wavelengths are actually good for your skin when it comes to treating skin conditions. So let's say you even visit a medical esthetician or a dermatologist with moderate to severe acne, you would also get red and blue light treatments on your skin to help with the acne. So as you're at home, the only thing you should do is, let's say, leave your windows open, let some of those sun rays come into your home, especially early morning lights. That has the highest components of vitamin D. So let's say from about 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., you should be good with sunlight, just a little and you're fine if you aren't going out. And if you are going out, you wear sunscreen. You don't have to worry about the waves not being able to penetrate because of the sunscreen, because UV, the red and blue wavelength, they have a smaller wavelength, so they can penetrate while UVA and UVB are being blocked. So please wear your sunscreen. Then we'll move quickly into your circadian rhythm. So your circadian rhythm is basically controlled by you sleeping and waking up. And waking up stimulates the body to produce more sebum and protect your skin, nourish the cells. So I know right now, maybe some people are really sleeping, but I know other people's circadian rhythms have been thrown off. If you're a student and you go to school, you wake up at 6, get ready, go at 8, and come back, sleep at 9. Right now, you're probably staying up till about 2, 3 a.m. If you're working at home and taking care of kids, your kids will take up majority of your day, and then at home you have to focus on work, so you're not sleeping. If you're trying to manage a business and everything, you're trying to do that around the clock so you can get the most out of your business while you're at home, so you're probably not sleeping. So since in your wake times, sebum and all that is being produced, now that you are extending your wake time, you are producing sebum for a longer period of time, your skin isn't being able to rest and replenish because you're losing sleep. So we need to focus on that as well, which is the circadian rhythm. So the best is to be at sleep at night. That is the best because sunlight itself actually triggers the pineal gland, and that stimulates your circadian rhythm. So you can't even trick your body into thinking it's 12 o'clock, but I'm going to pretend it's nighttime right now. Your body naturally reacts to sunlight and knows when it's time for you to sleep. So the best is to get at least 6 hours of sleep from early night time to late night time. Then you rise and go about your business, okay? And then we'll focus mostly on diet because that's what we're here for. So those are the 4 things: the stress, natural sunlight, the circadian rhythm, and then diet. So for diet, currently we have, you know what, I think because diet is so long, let me just go back to the masks because I think Abimbola mentioned that. So for the masks, right now you're going out wearing masks everywhere, even in Ghana, because of social distancing, you still have to wear masks, whether you're going to restaurants or whatever. And the problem with the masks is the cleanliness, the fabric, and whatever products you have on your skin while wearing the mask. So when it comes to cleanliness, it's basically just sweat, because wherever you have hair on your body, there's a follicle, there's a pore. So a lot of people sweat on their faces, and the masks would absorb that sweat, but sweat comes with a lot of toxins. It's not just water, it's waste products from your body that's being removed. So holding that so close to your face for extended periods of time becomes an issue. It impedes, it's even worse for people with impaired skin barriers. So let's say you're treating acne very vigorously, your skincare barrier would be compromised. You have any skin condition at all, your skin barrier would be compromised. And wearing masks for such long times would make the issue just worse by holding the bacteria to your face for longer periods of time. So one thing you can do is to change your masks as frequently as possible. So let's say you come back, you're done with the day and you come home and you're using, let's say, a fabric mask. You have to wash it with an antibacterial soap. And if you can, dry it out in the sun. If you can't, wherever you can dry it, you get it dried, then you iron it. That should get rid of most of the bacteria. You also have to think about friction. You make sure your mask is not too tight because the friction can aggravate acne and all other skin conditions. Then you also have to check on the fabric, the type of fabric you have your masks made of in the first place. If you're using a medical grade mask or surgical mask, you're good. There's really nothing you can do about that except change them and dispose of them. But if you're using fabrics, like a lot of people are using African print, you need to make sure that they aren't made of a synthetic material. So think more of breathable fabrics, cotton, all of that. That should help. And most African prints are made of cotton, so you should be good. But if anything, if you buy the prints fresh, you should wash them before you use them as masks because of the wax and all that residue. Yes, so that would be it for the type of fabric, the friction, and then the skin barrier. And then the last thing is reducing the amount of products you're using right now. If you're wearing makeup, it would honestly be best if you don't wear makeup while you're wearing your mask, because that's two separate layers of blockage before your skin reaches the atmosphere. You have the makeup layer and the mask layer, and your skin does need to breathe, especially if you have skin conditions. So if you can, no makeup. If you have to wear makeup, then I'd advise you don't wear it for extended periods of time, or you get a very, very light breathable mask that would still protect you against the virus, because you're taking care of your skin, but we're not trying to die of coronavirus while having great skin. So, and if you are not using makeup but using skincare products, then use lighter weight products. So maybe instead of a full thick serum, you would get a lighter moisturizer with light hyaluronic acid serum and mix that. If your skin is good to go and you're not dry or anything, you can just go with a serum and you're good to go. You should be all right. But no 10-step of layered products, none of that, unless you're going to sleep. In the daytime, everything should be kept light and simple. So that would be it.
Just before we come to you on the diet, I want Linda to start to walk us through the recipe she's doing. So while she's doing that, then we can talk about diet. So Linda, you're the head chef at Small Epic Pots. Can you start to walk
Oh, oh, I can barely hear you. I don't know why all of a sudden.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna run through it again. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
So I was saying that you're the head chef at Small Epic Pots. Can you start to walk us through the recipe you'll be making today? And also start the demo so we can get into the discussion of how our diet affects us.
Okay. So today, before I switch my camera, we're making carrot energy bites. So the reason I came up with this recipe is because I was looking for something pretty easy for you to do with ingredients you can get really easily. So you can get them at the supermarket or just the markets. Carrots is still in season now, and it's really good for you. It's good for your skin. So I said, okay, so let's it's something your kids can make. You can make, your kids can make. It's a quick and easy snack and very nutritious. So yes, so we're going to make a carrot energy bites. So let me switch my camera so I can show you the ingredients and maybe explain what everything is. So just one second.
Linda, you're also breaking a bit.
Okay. Oh, okay. So do I need to do that again? Did anyone hear?
I think we heard you, but it breaks sometimes, but I think we got the gist. So I think you can go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. So obviously the main star of the show, you can see a big, nice bowl of carrots. Okay. So for the carrot energy bites, you're going to need 2 cups of shredded carrots. I used the manual shredded. So it's kind of moist, so small shreds carrots. We also have some nuts. So I used, what I had in my pantry was flaked almonds. So you could use whole almonds as well. Just chop them, not too fine, but just chop them up so it's nice and easy for your food processor. We have some coconuts here, some desiccated coconut, easy to find in the supermarket. So this goes in and outside of you're going to coat the energy bites with this, and then some of it is going to go inside the energy bites as well. We have just a little bit more cinnamon, just like Olivia talked about inflammation. The cinnamon helps with that. So just a little bit for flavor as well. We have some coconut oil. This will keep the bites nice and small, nice and moist. And then this is good fat that is also really good for you. And then we have some dates paste. So you can just get soft dates from the supermarket and just remove the pits and the seeds. And yeah, so we need just about a cup of that. I think we'll share the recipe to everyone, and then we'd have a cup of oats, nice in fiber, good for you. So both oats and dates are very high in fiber and good for us. And then we have just a little bit of salt, just to just contrast some of the sweetness from the dates. So yeah, so that's about it. So that's all we need for our uh, carrot energy bites. So I guess I'm going to go off to finishing this off, and then um, Olivia can take us on. Thank you, guys.
I guess it'd be great to see you also do that. I don't know if you can share the screen for that. Nice to watch you. But Olivia, based off of what Linda shared with us, what do you think about doing sort of things like this in our diet, but also working around allergies that we might have? Because a lot of people have allergies. You might not be able to use like nuts in their recipe and sort of stuff like that. But just generally, what allergies are we looking out for? Dairy, nuts. I know that this is common allergy.
Okay, so for allergies, there are some common allergies that we usually have. Allergies to dairy, like we said, like you said, allergies to nuts. Those are for like edible foods. So things you eat that could cause an allergic reaction. Those we usually have dairy and nuts. There may be others, but those aren't as rampant as dairy and nuts. So for those that aren't as common, you would have to actually watch out for it in your diet. You can go to some skin clinics for them to do allergy tests for you, but on a regular, once it's being consumed, it's something you would have to watch and stay away from. When it comes to allergies to products and maybe even foods you put on your skin, those are easy to detect relatively. So usually after you put it on, within a period of 24 hours, you would have an allergic reaction, which would come in the form of redness, itchiness, bumps, and that's easier to detect. For that, when you put it on, within a day, you should start reacting. But for food, it's actually something you have to take note of. So I don't want to go too much into it because people can be allergic to tomatoes, water, rice, maybe not even white rice, but brown rice. There's so many varieties. So please let's take note of that. Even as we're eating organic and everything, take note of what works with your body and what doesn't.
I guess that's really interesting. I want to go over to Linda while she's working. So Linda, what do you think are some important food to incorporate in our diets that can definitely work with our skin, but are not easily accessible? And what do you think we can use to substitute them? My question.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. You're asking what's good for us that are not accessible right now, or some substitutes for that. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I know that for protein. So personally, I don't eat a lot of meat. I like to eat fish. And during this pandemic, there was a time it was quite difficult for me to eat fish, looking for all my omega oils. So I had to rely on things like chia seeds. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So I had to rely on chia seeds that I could find at the pharmacy, and then healthy substitutes for some of my oils. I couldn't get some coconut oil, so I had to switch most of my recipes back to olive oil, avocado oils, and some of that. Yeah. So yes, those are some of the things. I ate more potatoes in places where I couldn't find plantains and yams. So just basically working with what I had. I've had to eat more healthy oats. So yes.
That's really interesting. Tanas, can you share with us some brands that can provide ingredients that that can, some like healthy ingredients in terms of food, fruits, that can even have it delivered to our home. Do you know any brands that we can watch out for in the Lagos market?
I know there is quite a few farms that are popping up, and a lot of
It was really breaking. Tanas, you're breaking. We can't hear you. Hi, Tanas, you're breaking.
Vegetable and what they do is you can either ask them through WhatsApp for a list of their products available, and they're very seasonal.
Hi, Tana. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
So we didn't hear you at all. It was really breaking.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but it's breaking.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, but you're going to have to go again. Hello? Okay, I think that we might have to come back to Tana. Okay, so I'm just going to go to Olivia again. So Olivia, I wanted to talk about why skincare consultations are important to understanding your skin, first of all, then your lifestyle, your diet, your health, your food, and even drinks, how they can contribute to the health of your skin. And basically, why is it important to see a skin specialist before you start to try out products for your skin?
Okay, so skincare actually is a science. And when you go into the fields of dermatology and medical aesthetics, even just basic aesthetics, it's more of a medicine as well. So you really can't just do anything. Um, a, it's like getting diabetes. Then you sit at home and say, "Oh, I've heard this can work. I'm going to try it and see." No, you can prolong the whole situation and make it worse than it actually is. Because just as you continue going about your day and living life, whatever condition you have is also progressing. And the funny thing about skincare is actually very complex. It may seem simple because maybe you try something once and it works, but then sometimes your skin can get resistant to it. Sometimes it just gives you a temporary effect, and over time it just worsens your skin. So you need someone who's well versed in the science of it so you can get proper treatment for whatever you want to treat for. Even if you're just looking out to maintain the beauty of your skin, you need someone who knows the science behind the health of your skin as well. So your skin will last you a long time.
I mean, we live in our skin, really. I guess that's also one of the works that we do at Best Skincare. We don't throw products at the problem. We connect you to a specialist who basically walks you through your skin, what your skin needs, based on skin type, your skin condition, before we think of recommending products for you. And then we help monitor your skin progress over a 3-month period. So it's a really, really, really one-on-one, personalized based process for you. So covered. If you want to find out more, just go on Better Community to find out more. So let's come back to you, Linda. I don't know if Tana. Oh, Tana's is back. Tana, are you back?
Hopefully, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, great.
So answer the question again, please.
So I was saying that during this period, as I was saying, that a lot of businesses have gone to get farms and local vegetable and fruit suppliers. I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So you'll find a lot of them have whatever is available in season. And you can find almost all of them on Instagram. You can WhatsApp them. They'll send you whatever they have available. They do like weekly delivery. So you know whatever you're getting is quite fresh. And this applies to everything from, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think Tana's out again. So Linda, if you could just walk us through what you're doing very quickly so we can start to take questions.
Okay, so I don't know if everyone saw what I did, but basically the ingredients I highlighted. So you can do this two ways. If you have a food processor, I have a mini one of these. So if you have that, you can use it. But if you can see, if everyone saw my demo, I basically just threw everything in one big bowl and mixed it with my hands. So it's something that's really fun to get your kids involved. They can get mixing and helping you roll smaller balls and rolling them in the desiccated coconut. So whilst we were all talking, and to show that it's pretty easy in the time span we spent talking, I was able to whip this out. So we have about 8 balls there. This recipe makes about 23 centimeter balls. I see left in the bowl so we can see how it looks when we mix it all together. And then I had made some balls earlier as well. So this is the finished product. So
Oh, that's
your
nice.
carrots, energy bite. Yeah, yeah. So this recipe made about 20 of those. Yeah, so your kids can get in the fun and you can keep it in the fridge for up to a week. You can just pop it into a pot. You can have it for snacks. I usually have it snacks or breakfast, maybe about 5 to 7 for breakfast. For snacks, I can have about 3. And then the kids can have it all through the day. Like I said, easy to make, easy to store in the fridge, and it's loaded with carrots. That bowl was 2 cups of carrots, and that's a lot. So yeah, so I hope everybody saw the demo. I hope we can see this, and I hope we try it.
Definitely gonna try it. Looks really easy. So just quickly to Tana before I start to take questions. Are you back?
Yes, and I hope I don't lose you again. I've got 3 different networks that I'm working with, and I'm jumping from one to the other.
It's okay. We can hear you.
Quickly, just to mention, great. There are a lot of businesses that are now on Instagram, and even if you just put in farms, you'll find a whole bunch of farms that are now supplying delivery straight to your home, and they usually do like once a week delivery. Like you order in advance and they deliver. Like you order on Monday, they deliver on Thursday. And it's not just fruits and vegetables. You can I really am supportive of buying local. So I know in Lagos there is a local chocolate brand that you can buy chocolate chips from, whole bars of chocolate for baking, and all the cocoa comes from Nigeria, so it's all made locally, which is great. And they're called Dune. Some of the farms that are doing local supplying of local vegetables and fruit are people like Cashew Organic Farms. There's a new organic supermarket that also has their own farm. They do organic chicken and meat and eggs, and their own fruits and veg. They're called Amazon Farms. Simply Green is a big one that has been around for a few years now. And they also supply a lot of their fruits and veg to supermarkets. You can buy directly like kale and lettuce and all those kind of things. But there's a lot out there, a lot. So you can always find something within the local market on social media even.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. We have so many questions, so I'm just gonna go right in, and anyone can answer really. So I guess maybe this one will be for Olivia. Do peanuts really cause one to break out?
Sorry, the question again.
Peanuts cause one to break out.
Okay, yes, they do. So we have nuts that are good for your skin and nuts that aren't as best for your skin. So the ones that aren't the best are high in phytic acid and omega-6. And omega-6 is good, just in high quantities, it helps increase inflammation. So, and peanuts fall under that category. They're very high in phytic acid and very, very high in omega-6. So that would help increase acne, maybe not necessarily cause it, but aggravate it.
Okay, so you're saying we should sort of cut out from our diet. If someone is struggling with acne, I guess that maybe they should eliminate from the diet and see if that makes things better a bit.
Yes,
Right.
so if you are struggling with acne, the basic things to do with your diet are to eliminate dairy and nuts because those are the main aggravators. For some people, they have acne and nuts and dairy don't play a role. But then you can try it out for a period of about 6 to 12 weeks. If it works for you, then you stay away from the nuts. That means staying away works for you, then you stop altogether. And if it doesn't work and you still have crazy acne, then just go on with your nuts and look into other aspects of your skincare routine. And if you're looking for alternatives for good nuts, so those ones are high in vitamin E, selenium, magnesium. You can go for macadamia nuts, almonds, hazelnuts, and chestnuts.
I guess that everyone has a general understanding on kind of like nuts that they should try out as opposed to granules.
Yes.
So another question. So I have an oily skin. My acne seems to go, but it also comes once in a while. Also, I have dark circles and spots from the acne. What products can work for me?
Okay, so oily skin, acne goes and comes. Is it related to your menstrual cycle? If it is, then it's probably just the hormonal changes. So before your period comes, there's an estrogen spike, and estrogen is actually produced from a basic form of testosterone. It's a very long equation, dihydrogen. Yes. So testosterone is known to play a role in the production of sebum. So it increases the rate of production of sebum. So because you are having that estrogen spike and there's basic forms of testosterone being converted, it's also acting on your sebaceous glands and increasing the amount of sebum, which will clog your pores. If you have proponium acne living in your sebaceous glands, that's acne causing bacteria. The great amount of sebum basically helps keep them there, and they would in turn aggravate your acne and cause it to flare up. So if it comes and goes and it's related to your cycle, that's what's happening. If it comes and goes and it's not related to your cycle, it could be fungal acne, just that stays for longer periods before it goes. So you would have to look into the type and then work around that. Was
Okay.
there a second part to that question? Sorry.
I think you pretty much covered it. So I just wanted to say that I'm seeing a lot of questions on people asking about like one-on-one sessions, what products can I use, how to speak with a specialist. I'm going to touch on that towards the very end, but that's basically what we do at Best Skincare. We put you in touch with a skin specialist. You speak with a skin specialist for about 1 hour, and you try to understand what your skin, what's wrong with your skin, how to take care of your skin, and then we recommend products for you. So we can definitely answer that for you very much towards the end. We're even putting out a special promo code. So that's all going to happen at the end. But there's a question here that says, can we determine what is good to consume for our blood group, and how does that affect our skin? That's a very interesting question.
Okay. Well, the diet according to blood group is actually a very dicey topic. It's not something that has been settled on yet. There are people who say, let's say for blood O groups, you should stay away from some sugar, all of that. But so far, I haven't come across any doctor or any consultant who meets a patient with an issue and it's like, what's your blood group? Don't eat that. I haven't come across that. And even in skincare, that isn't really like a basis for determining what someone should eat. I don't know if Linda can contribute to that.
Hi, Linda. Is it possible to
Hi.
eat the blood group?
I mean, just like Olivia said, it's still dicey. Um, the subject is still a bit dicey because, yes, I know that I've actually read a book where it's been broken down that there are foods people in certain blood groups, there are foods that they can and can eat. But after going through the book, to me, it seemed a bit unrealistic for some people to follow because of how our food is and how our diet is. So for me, I always advise that we should just have a healthy balance, just have a bit of everything, but in moderation. Yeah. And then if your case is a bit more severe, maybe you're trying to watch your weight or you're dealing with sugar and your hormones, and then that's a different ball game entirely. There are foods for those. But for our blood groups, I think it's a bit more. I think we need some more study.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, on that. Yeah, but I'll still advise everything in moderation.
Just before we continue, I'm seeing some really, really good questions around skincare, around building the skin routine and all of that. And I do want to say for everyone who's listening in that it's very, very important to speak with a skin specialist before you get product, before you start a routine. Don't just rely on maybe what we're saying here today or what your friend is trying. It's very, very important because it might work for you today, but it might not work for you in the long run. So you don't want to damage your skin even further before you now decide, oh, I should definitely speak to a skin specialist. So I'm just going to put that disclaimer out before I ask this question. So someone is asking, I think this was for Olivia, what about hormonal drugs like Dianom? I want to reiterate again that it's very, very important to speak with a dermatologist before you take that medication for your skin. Before you even use product on your skin, you speak with a specialist. It's very, very important. So Olivia, what do you think about hormonal drugs like Dianom?
So when it comes to skincare, the safest thing you can do is to use topical treatments. And even that, there are some that you need to consult, a lot that you need to consult skin specialists before you should start using. So even if that is serious, then something you are taking in is even more serious because everything you take in starts affecting almost all your organs. It might be excreted by your kidneys, your liver. So you need to be careful. You can't go out and just buy hormonal drugs. Even if, let's say, you see a dermatologist and he prescribes something hormonal to you, a lot of the time you would also have to see an endocrinologist as well because it becomes a more serious issue. There are even pills you can take, antibiotics you can take for acne. I'll not mention them before people go out and buy them. But even for those, you have to see a skin specialist or a dermatologist for it to be prescribed. And that's even just supposed to affect only a few organs in your body. So if it's something that's hormonal, your thyroid can be affected, your brain, everything. So please do not take any drugs that affect skin. And
And
don't
just
use topical products before you see the specialist.
okay. And just to confirm, topical things are really things that you apply on the surface of your skin, not things that
Yes.
you. So just to run through the questions very quickly, someone is asking about tiger nuts and coconut oil, if it's good for the skin.
Yes, yes, they are. They are. They both have really good fatty acids, especially coconut oil. I haven't really done too much research to know the basic components, but from what I've read, they aren't part of the bad category. If you're eating them, yes. If you're putting coconut oil on your skin, then you have to be a bit careful because the molecules are quite big and they can't really be absorbed. So if you're acne prone, they'll just end up clogging your pores. But can Linda give us some insights into that?
Yeah,
Sure.
coconut as well.
Yeah, coconuts are really, really good for us. Just like Olivia said, they're good fats, healthy fats. You can use them I put them in my stir fry sometimes. In my barbecue sauce, it has a nice nutty taste. So whatever barbecue sauce we have, we just put a few splashes. It's best used in really small quantities, maybe like a tablespoon, depending if it's a meal for one or two. A tablespoon is fine because it can be really strong and it can overpower all the other flavors. of your dish. Thank you, Olivia, for telling us about rubbing it on our skin because it's what I rub. So basically, yeah, it's what I rub, it's what I use on my kids. So we all use coconut oil, head to toe, from my hair for everything. So I guess I'll need to check up on that if we've been doing it right.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
so over to Tana's, I want to ask about going out to eat because I know that maybe things places are not yet open in Ghana and sorry in Lagos, but a lot of places are open here in Ghana. So what do you think we should be looking out for when we go out to eat? Just in terms of, I know that you said in terms of safety, but what do you think in terms of even how food is delivered to us, like waiters, how food is prepared? Do we need to ask? Because these are quite scary times, and you don't want someone who is ill preparing your food, but you also cannot ask directly, "Oh, can I see that the person is wearing a face mask?" or something like that. What do you think?
I think one of the things that they're saying right now is that the virus doesn't, like, you can't get it from like food that's been cooked. But I think one of the things that you should really be careful about is make sure that the staff in the whatever restaurant you're going to are well prepared. They've got their gloves on, they've got their masks on, and their shields. So they should have like a double barrier. Shield is not enough. They should, if they're going to wear a shield, they have to also be wearing a mask. And don't be shy about asking for it. If you see that someone is not well covered, I think it's your right to ask them to put on a mask or make sure that they are taking all safety precautions. And yeah, I think it's the risk that you're gonna take when you go out. You can't be sure if
Okay, we lost Tanas again. So I'm just going to ask one almost final question for Olivia. The question is oil cleansing really necessary, especially if you don't use makeup? Also, can one use any oil to cleanse? Can we use just any oil to cleanse?
Okay. If you're not wearing makeup, oil cleansing isn't very necessary. You just need a very good cleanser, one that's gentle on your skin. And if you have oily skin, maybe one that's foaming to help get rid of, any grime you've accumulated during the day. If you are wearing makeup, it's the best way to take off your makeup. Because even if you've realized if you're oily skin and you put on makeup, after like a few minutes, your makeup starts breaking down because oils do help break down makeup. So that's the best way, but you shouldn't just use the oil. You either use an oil cleansing wash or you use a plant-based oil that's not comedogenic as long with your cleanser. So you use the oil first, rub it in, and then after that you take some of your cleanser and then you rub it in. It forms this kind of weird consistency. You rinse that off, then you go in again with your cleanser or an even gentler cleanser and you're good to go. Sorry.
What did you say?
Sorry, which part?
I wanted to say that just another point on that is just like, it's not just any oil. So you cannot just get coconut oil and
parts I was coming. Yeah. Yes, you're right. So you can't just use any plant oil because we have some that have larger molecules that clog your pores, or they have a higher likelihood of clogging your pores. And that has been determined by a scale called the comedogenic scale. So it's ranked from 0 to 5. 0 is least likely to clog your pores or non-comedogenic. And 5 is the highest level that you can get, which means it will most likely clog your pores. Oils like jojoba oil, rosehip oil, they fall along the 2 to 0 scale. And then oils like oils and butters like cocoa butter, yes, those oils. Coconut oil is about a 3 or 4, depending on which scale you use. But things that are harsher and have larger molecules go to about 5, and those ones will clog your pores. So you just need to be wary. You can just Google up comedogenic scale and you get the whole scale with almost all the plant oils and butters.
I think another thing to note on the point that you just spoke about is that you cannot also, it's not just to go get the oil in the natural form and just start to use it on your face just like that.
Yeah.
Formulations are also very important. And just to go in a bit, I've seen a lot of questions asking about skincare routine, about one-on-one consultation, what products to use if you have sensitive skin. And I'm not just plugging this because this is what we do, but because it's really, really important, right? So we're giving out 20 slots for people to be able to book our packages at a cheaper rate. So it usually goes for $10, which is about 50 CD or about 5,000 naira. Sorry, my mathematics is not very. But we're giving it out for $6. You can convert on whatever currency you have. The link will be put up and it's first come, first served. And what you expect with this is that you can speak with a specialist who's going to run through everything, and you can ask whatever questions you have. Or I have dry skin, or I have acne prone skin, or I've used this product, I've tried everything and it hasn't worked. And the specialist is going to help you run through, oh, this is why they should work, and this is what you should use, this is what you shouldn't use, here are products to try. We also give you a product recommendation that you can either go buy for yourself or we purchase for you. And I guess that the most interesting part of this, again, not plugging it because it's what I do, but because it's really interesting, we monitor your progress over a 3-month period. So within 3 months, we track, okay, is this working for you? Is this not working for you? You can always come back to speak with a specialist within that time period. So that's it. And I want us to start to wrap up. So I also want to ask the final question. How good is rose water for the skin? Olivia, I think this question is for you.
Rose water is okay. It depends on what you are looking for when it comes to rose water. Is basically used as a toner. So, sorry, please hold on. Sorry. So, first you have to consider if you have sensitive skin. Rose water usually comes with fragrance. So you don't want fragrance in your skincare if you have sensitive skin because it's an irritant. If you are looking to use rose water to just soothe your skin and encourage the moisturization process, then it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But if, let's say, you wanted to help treat acne or psoriasis or any other skin condition, it doesn't really do much for that. It really just helps to soothe the skin. So it depends on what you want.
Okay, so in rounding up, I'm gonna go through every one of our panelists and just ask them final points. You want to go to Linda. What do you think are your final thoughts on creating a healthy diet with recipes that are easy to find?
Can't hear you.
Let me go again.
Okay.
So I was asking, as final points, what do you think are healthy, easy to go recipes that we can create that works well for our skin, but not just our skin alone, for our overall body?
Okay. I'll advise that first that we eat local. We should eat local. We should try and eat the things that are in season, and we should eat in moderation. I'll advise everybody to go back and visit their pantries and see stuff they probably bought and they haven't used, and try to use that. Which we also need to try and reduce waste in this time. So visit your pantry and just try new things. Google is our friend, like they say. So yeah, try some banana bread, which is good for you. You can try this carrot bites that I just made. Aside from my recipe, there are other variations out there that could help you take out the things, like if you don't want coconut in it, or you don't want cinnamon, or you don't want nuts. There are different recipes, so you could check that out and Google it. We need to try and eat as much vegetable as we can. Uh, those in season, drink lots and lots of water, lots of lemon, things that help your immune system. So yeah, but like I've been hammering, I think moderation is key, because it's really easy to just sit at home and just binge on everything in the fridge. I was guilty, I did that. So but I'm back now. So yeah, so just everything in moderation, in season, and healthy. Just do some research. Just read up on different things. I've fallen back in love with baking in this time. So Yeah, pretty much that's it.
Yeah, I also want to just plug in that, guys, when you're bored, the fridge is not the best place to go. Let's
Yeah.
not make that a fun place to be going. But just also, if you're gonna start creating healthy recipes, I think that Lost in Lagos is one of the best places to also find out places to go, brands to look out for, especially with shopping local. So, what are your last words for us, Tanas, as regards building a healthy diet, but also where can you go to buy food stuff or ingredients?
Well, I think a combination of cooking for yourself at home and also getting food delivered to you is a healthy balance, because not healthy in terms of your diet, but for your psychological well-being. Because I think sometimes we just need to feel like we're being spoiled and taken care of by somebody else. And since in Lagos you can't go out to eat, I think the next best thing is to get the food to come to you. But it's important not to go overboard. It's easy to, get your cheesy steak sandwiches and fries and desserts and everything you're craving, which is fine if you do it in moderation, but it can also become quite a bad habit. So I think if you're craving something, it's good to have it once in a while. I think it's healthy. It makes you feel good. When you're cooking at home, like Linda said, buy ingredients that are in season, because then you're getting the full vitamin. Sorry, that's my dog. You're getting the full nutrients that are coming from those products, those produces. And even when it comes to milk, because although dairy is a lot of it, most of it is imported, there are some brands that are coming out that are doing fresh milk, fresh yogurt, fresh cheeses, and you just have to look out for it. I know I saw one supermarket. I got fresh milk last week, and it was great. It had a completely different taste. It was like creamier. It was nice, and I really enjoyed it. And now I think I'm going to be actually looking out for it on a regular basis. And yeah, it's good to just go out and explore what's out there. Social media is your friend when it comes to that. Lost in Lagos is your friend. We are constantly updating our website with the new businesses that we discover, so that you can also discover them. Yeah, if you follow us, we're putting up recipes all the time. We in fact have a whole recipe supplement to the magazine, and that we've got a collection of recipes that we put out over the past year or so in the magazine. So you can also have fun at home.
Okay, thank you so much. Olivia, final question also before you sign out. This question is about DIY sugar scrub. I know DIY sugar scrub is all of the rave in exfoliating. Where? Okay. But I want to find out if it's good. What will you say is the safest way to exfoliate? First of all, don't use DIY sugar. But Olivia, take us through that.
Yeah, so when it comes to DIYs, that is usually just putting what's in your kitchen on your face.
Please don't do.
I won't say you should do that. To be honest, no dermatologist or esthetician or medical esthetician will tell you to do that. That's just because of the formulation. The formulation matters. You need to know the concentration, the pH, all of that. And when it comes to food that is grown, sugar and all of that, there are so many variations because different companies make them, different people make them. So you need to be more careful. I would say just don't do it at all, because it can cause you so much distress and it will cost you more to fix any problem it causes. So the best way to exfoliate, please don't use sugar, because the granules are really big and they aren't regular, they aren't round, it breaks and shatters like glass. So you don't want it cutting into your skin and causing micro micro tears. Okay. The best thing to do is to either you can do physical or chemical exfoliation. Physical is using scrubs, but even with those scrubs, don't use scrubs like walnut scrubs, because no matter how fine they are, the shards are never even. So you need something that's very, very fine. I think Dermalogica has an enzyme one that's really perfect. There are other companies, Neutrogena makes good ones. Yeah, but a lot of people don't, oh, what's the name of this brand? I can't even remember. But then if anything, go the chemical route. So the chemical route is using AHAs and BHAs, alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids. For our alpha hydroxy acids, we have glycolic acid, lactic acid, mandelic acid, and those are perfect. They take off the dead in quotes area very evenly, unlike the physical ones, and they can penetrate deeper, especially the beta hydroxy acids. Those can go into the layers of your skin that have oils. So it's water and oil soluble. And the only beta hydroxy acid we have in skincare right now is salicylic acid. So let's say you even have acne, that's the best route to go. So anything that's chemical is really good. Chemical doesn't mean bad, like it's not going to destroy your organs or anything. It just means it's more even and it's more controlled than the physical and DIY types.
Yeah, and just again, a point of caution, guys. When you hear AHA, BHAs, don't be afraid. But I guess the most important point is to get educated on it. For everything you don't understand with skincare, either you speak to a specialist or you research on it. Do research for yourself. Chemical, natural, there's no war on that. There's no war on what is a chemical product, what's a natural product. It's really in the formulation, it's really in the ingredient. That's how you know what works for you. I mean, if you have malaria, guys, I know that you don't treat yourself at home. You go to a doctor who says, try this. It's the same thing with your skin. It's very important to speak with somebody who knows what you're doing, who knows what you're talking about. Please don't concoct things in your home and then put it on your face. Don't put egg on your face. Don't put honey on your face. Even black soap is quite sketchy, guys. It might work for you over a period of time, but your body and your face can develop, what's the word? Forget it. But I guess develop immunity against it. So you can be using it for a while and then it stops working for you. So it's very, very important, guys. Speak to a specialist. Speak to someone who knows what they're talking about. And don't just try things. Before you even try products, try it on the back of your hand. Your face is not a scapegoat for anybody's person, all of that. Again, ask a lot of questions. Very important to ask questions. So that's it from us on this very episode of Soul Food. I hope that you guys have had a lot of fun. I hope it has been very educating. I want to say a very big thank you to Linda, to Olivia, to Tanas. I really appreciate your time. And I also want to say a big thank you to the team at Better Community for putting this together. They're awesome. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who's in our community. You guys are the reason why we do any of the things that we do. And we're really, really grateful. So in closing, I would say that there's a deep discount for you to get a consultation. Speak with Olivia or speak with any of our specialists. It's much, much cheaper now. And then you get product recommendations. You get 1 hour or 50 or 45 minutes with a specialist. For the recipe that Linda shared with us, we're going to be sharing it in our newsletters. So sign up if you haven't. But even more importantly, follow all our social media pages so you can get updates. Olivia is at Derma Addicts GH. Linda is at Small Epic Pots. Tanas is at Lost in Lagos, and we're Better Community. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I don't know if you have one final question, anyone, just one final question. Sorry, just before we sign out, I just want everyone, the panelists, to just sign out. Just say something for us just before we go. So, say something, panelists, one last thing.
Okay, I'll go first. I would say thank you so much for having me, and please support your local businesses and try to stay sane during this period, especially those in Lagos who are still stuck indoors, and just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so please wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. We can say it enough. Keep washing your hands and sanitizing. Get into the kitchen, cook some more, try new things, new recipes, eat local, buy local, and please stay safe.
Anything from you, Olivia?
I would just say take care of your skin. It's one of your most vulnerable organs because it's exposed to so much. So do your research first, contact qualified people, And just as much as what you are, what you eat. So everything that goes on the inside is reflective on the outside. So eat well, drink a lot of water, sleep well, research on your products, know your skin before you put anything on it. And please don't put your kitchen on your face. Thank you.
Yeah, so in closing, final, I just want to say, as much as we're staying home now, guys, please try to stay safe. Order in if you definitely need to eat something from outside. Not every time go to the restaurant. If at all you're outside in the restaurant, social distancing is very important. And also our consultations are all virtual, so you don't need to go out of your house for anything. From the comfort of a mobile device, you can speak with a specialist, get your product recommendation, and even get products delivered to you. So it's very easy. Stay home, try new things. This will be over soon. Soon. So let's all try to adjust to life as we know it right now. For any questions that we couldn't take, guys, you can just send us a DM via Instagram and we would answer. Once again, Lost in Lagos 12 on Instagram, Small Ethic Pots for Linda, Dama Addict GH for Olivia. Thank you guys for coming. Send us your comments, send us your reviews via Instagram or even via email. And thank you so much for your time, everyone. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Music, 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 music.